The Adventures of Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain. Longman Simplified English Series. Read by Pishichai Nopakau. Chapter 20. The Trail of Potter. Tom soon began to wonder why his long-for holiday was not as exciting as he had hoped. A circus came. After it had gone, the boys had a circus of their own in tents made of old rush. The price of admissions was 3 pence for boys and 2 for girls. After 3 days, their circus was given up. There were some boys and girls parties, but they were so few and delightful that they only made the emptiness between harder to bear. Becky Thatcher was away with her parents, and so there was no bright side to life anywhere. Tom fell ill. When he had recovered, he wandered down the street and found Jim Hollis acting as judge in a court composed of children. He was trying a cat for murder in the presence of her victim, a bird. Murder was the chief subject of conversation in the village, for the murder trial came on the court. Tom took Huck aside to have a talk with him. It would be a relief to unseal his tongue. Moreover, he wanted to assure himself that Huck had not betrayed the secret. Huck, have you told anybody about that? About what? You know? Oh, of course, I haven't. Huck, they couldn't force you to tell, could you? Could they? Force me to tell. Why, if I want that half-bred devil to kill me, they could force me to tell. As twilight drew on, they found themselves hanging about the neighborhood of the little prison, and they did as they had often done before. They gave Potter some tobacco and matches through the bars. They felt very cowardly and treacherous when Potter said, "You've been very good to me, boys." I often say to myself, I used to mean all the boys' kites and things, and show them the best fishing places, and befriend them when I could. And now they're forgetting me when I'm in trouble. But Tom hasn't. And Huck hasn't. Shake hands. Your will come through the bars, but mine's too big. Little hands and weak, but they'll help me a lot, and they help me more if they could. Tom went home miserable, and his dreams that night were full of horrors. The next day and the day after, he hung out about the carts. At the end of the second day, the village talk was that Redskin Joe's evidence stood firm and unshaken, and that there was not the slightest doubt what the jury's verdict would be. Tom was out late that night and came to bed through the window. He was in a state of great excitement. It was hour before he got to sleep. All the village flocked to the court the next morning, for this was to be that great day. After a long wait, the jury took their place. Soon afterwards, Potter, Paul, and Timothy was brought in and sat where all curious eyes could stare at him. No less noticeable was Redskin Joe's evil face. Then the judge and the sheriff arrived. The usual whisperings among the lawyers and the gathering together of papers followed. This detail and the accompanying delays gave an impressive sense of expectation. Now, a witness was called who said that he found Potter watching in a stream at an early hour on the morning when the murder was discovered and that he immediately crept away. After some questioning, the lawyer of the prosecution said, "Examine the witness." The lawyer for the defense said, "I have no questions to ask him." The next witness described the finding of the knife near the body. The lawyer for the prosecution said, "Examine the witness. I have no question to ask him." The lawyer replied. A third witness swore that he had often seen the knife in Potter's possession. Examine the witness. The lawyer refused to question him. The face of the audience began to show an annoyance. This lawyer meant to throw away the prisoner's life without effort to save him. Every detail of what occurred in the graveyard that memorable morning was described by trustworthy witnesses, but none of them was cross-examined by the lawyer. The lawyer of prosecution now said, "But the oath of citizens whose word is above suspicions. We have shown beyond all possibility of doubt that this awful crime was committed by the prisoners." A groan escaped from Potter, and there was a painful silence in court. The lawyer for the defense rose and addressed the judge. "Your Honor, in our remarks at the opening of the real trial, we show that we intend to prove that a prisoner that this fearful death while under the influence of drink. He hath changed our mind. We shall not offer that accuse." Turning to the clerk, he said, "Call Tom Sawyer." Everyone in court looked both amazed and puzzled. Tom, looking rather frightened, rose and took his place upon the stand. He swore the oath. Thomas Sawyer, where were you on the 17th of June, about the hour of midnight? Tom glanced at Risking Joe's iron face, and his tongue refused to move. The audience listened breathless, but the words would not come. After a few moments, however, the boy got a little off his strange back, and he managed to push enough of it into his voice to mark part of the course here. In the graveyard. A trifle louder, please. Don't be afraid, you were. In the graveyard. A scornful smile passed across Risking Joe's face. Were you anywhere near Horace Williams' grave? Yes, sir. Speak up a trifle louder. How near were you? As near as I am to you. Were you hidden or not? Hidden? Where? Behind the tree on the edge of the grove. Risking Joe gave a slight start. Did you carry anything there with you? Tom hesitated and looked confused. Speak out, my boy. What did you take there? Only a dead cat. There was some laughter, which the judge checked. We shall produce the remains of that cat and as evidence. Now, my boy, tell us everything that occurred. Tell it in your own way. Don't omit anything, and don't be afraid. Tom began hesitatingly at first, but soon his words flowed more and more easily. With parted lips, the audience listened to his terrible tale. And as the doctor brought the board down and Potter fell, Risking Joe jumped with the knife and crutch as quick as lightning. The half-breed sprang towards a window, tore his way through all who tried to stop him, and was gone. Tom was a hero once more, the pet of the old and the envy of the young. His name was even Prince. From the village newspaper report the part he had played. Tom's days were days of glory, but his nights were seasons of horror. Risking Joe was present in all his dreams and always with a fulcrum in his eye. Nothing could persuade the boy to go out of doors after sunset. Poor Huck was in the same state of terror, for Tom had told the whole story to the lawyer the night before the trial, and Huck feared that his share in the matter might be found out. Silence Tom's conscience has driving him to betray his oath. Huck's confidence in his human race has practically vanished. During the posters, gratitude made Tom feel glad that he had spoken. But at night he wished that he had said nothing. Rewards were offered, the country was searched, but Risking Joe was not found. The day went slowly by, and with each day Tom felt a little less afraid.